What's up everybody, it's your boy Baby Bear, and I'm back to do another reactionary video, and this time I wanted to do it to an anime that I first started watching back in the day when I was still subscribed to Hulu. And in my personal opinion, I've always felt like Hulu has always had a better selection, or at least more variety when it comes to anime than Netflix did. So I remember watching an anime called Is It Wrong to Pick Up Chicks in a Dungeon? Now this was around the same time, around that period when I was really into my Log Horizon bag. I was also into part of the first season of Sword Art Online. Just the first season though. Everything else, and only part of the first season, everything else was a mess. But really around that time when it was, you know, at least being more noticed, the whole video game MMORPG world come to life, or being trapped in an MMORPG world. So this show, Is It Wrong to Pick Up Chicks in a Dungeon, kind of gave me that same vibe. Now it's not per se in a video game world. I believe, at least within the scope of the anime, it's in their actual world it's a fantasy based world. It's not an actual game based off of a fantasy based world. It actually is a fantasy based world. They're really fighting monsters, and you know, it always has a protagonist who is a bit dorky and overlooked. The male protagonist usually is in a lot of these animes, so that's what you have. And you always have the hypersexualized bimbo girl who's pining after him. Your typical anime stuff. So to add some context, it's basically a character. The main character, his name is Bell, and he dreams of being like a epic adventurer, a famous adventurer. But what's interesting about the show is that there's different gods and goddesses, and from what I've gathered, because when I watched it on Hulu way back when, there was only one season. And so from what I gathered, the gods were basically just like from different pantheons. So you had some from Norse mythology, you had some from Greek mythology. I don't know. Those are the only ones that I saw from the first season. There may be more, I don't know. But basically, these gods, they come down from heaven to, I guess, the mortal world in a mortal form, so to speak. They basically take on children. So basically, if you're an adventurer or wanting to strive to become an adventurer, you would apply to be a child within this god's family. So each god or goddess has their house and has a family. And so every adventurer, I guess, goes for whichever god will either accept them or whichever god that they aim to be under. And so you start off with Bell, who is not in any family. He's not a part of any familia, or they call it familia. Then you also discover this girl. Her name is Hestia, and I'm not sure if anyone wants to leave a comment about if that is a actual god. I'm just drawing a blank as far as if that's a goddess or not, and from what pantheon. But Hestia, she looks like a small Lolita girl with big tits and everything. She, I guess, discovers Belle, and she herself is childless. She doesn't have any familia. She doesn't have any, I guess, adventurers within her house or familia. So she discovers Belle, takes a liking to him, and it's one of those dynamics where the male protagonist isn't really feeling the girl that's like chasing and pining after him, and so she's like simping over him heavy. and he's kind of just like, oh, it's not like that. I like you as a friend. He. But he also sees. He eventually goes to a dungeon, and I guess when he does his first level of a dungeon over, it's an epic fail, and he's pretty much about to get his ass kicked. This girl, Ice, I don't know. The spelling's weird, but I'll put the spelling up. Ice Wallenstein. I know it had like a Germanish type name to it, or European name. She pretty much is like this blonde-haired, hazel-eyed girl who is badass, because it's usually the ones in anime that don't talk that are usually badass. So she comes and she pretty much saves him. She's pretty much his hero, and because of that, he just like takes a liking to her, and he becomes like her admirer, and he starts like crushing over her. And I think that's also what helps fuel him to pursue, be like that confirms for him that he definitely wants to be an adventurer, because he sees like how strong she is. So it's an interesting concept that I kind of took a liking to, especially with the whole system, the whole familia system, being under a actual god as one of their children. Pretty interesting. I know there's the Loki family, so that's Norse. There's Apollo family as well, and then of course Hestia. Now I don't know all of the other gods and goddesses, because I don't think we got that deep in the first season, but hopefully this new season, season 2, we'll dive a little bit more deeper into the different types of pantheons that they have as far as gods and goddesses and stuff like that. But I really liked this one though, because it was different because of the fact that it wasn't based on a video game. It wasn't within a video game world. It was its actual own thing. So like many other videos that I plan to do in the future reacting to anime, this one we are going to do a reaction to. And yeah, I'm in my living room now. I wanted to get a different change of scenery. I was trying to catch the natural light of the day. Fortunately, it's only on my left side, so I still have to use my little mini ring light. But yeah, I'm still going to react to this video, so let us check it out. Okay, so there's Lily, and I think that's the character Photo. I believe she was the one that helped them last season. That like huge boss in that like underground city.
Mikoto-san もありがとうございます。いえ、こちらからどうか。最初に3人だけで潜った時はどうなるかと思いました。中層か。まだまだ注意は必要だけど。だんだん無謀な冒険じゃなくなってきた。これから先も進んでいこう。そして一歩でも近づくんだ。
Ambitious Belle. Always chasing after AS.
憧れのあの人に。カバイ！家事師となれば。作る装備の価値も跳ね上がりますね。
That's right. He's a part of like Hephaestus. Wealth is a part of the Hephaestus family, so Hephaestus obviously being the god of the Greek god of blacksmithing, I believe. So he's a blacksmith.
ランクアップして家事のアビリティを得るため、もう行動を共にする。これからも一緒だ。
Wealth is like that guy you just always want to have around you, who's always going to have your back.
用があるって言ってたからね。気を使ったんじゃないでしょうか。自分は別のファミリアだからって。
So they're all part of different familia.
勘弁してくれ。やっとお前に追いついたのに、すぐ3になられちゃたまらないぜ。
レコードホルダーだかなんだか知らないけど、インチキもほどほどにした方がいいぜ。
Always wanted to start. Always some motherfucker trying to start.
早いウサギがだったら恥ずかしくてホームから出られねえよ。
やれやれ。
Always those type of people with the cameras. Always gonna talk shit.
見ろよ。仲間は他派閥の寄せ集めだ。売れない平凡家事師にちっこいガキのサポーター。ま、いい子か。
Kick his ass. Kick his little fucking ass. Who is this little kid?
それも仕方ないか。これだけの落ちこぼれ女神が率いてるんだからな。
Is he gonna? I hope he kicks her.
取り消せ。神の眷属なんて
she do that? Oh. Wolf is a G, man. He's hilarious.
次はどいつだ。相手になろう。
Oh shit! Whoa! Oh my god, is he human?
レベル3かよ。我が仲間を傷つけた罰は重い。相応の報いを受けてもらおう。
Oh my god, he's gonna fucking choke him out. He's about to crush his windpipe.
調子に乗ってんじゃねえさ。
やるじゃないか、ベル君。いや。
Hestia, it's always with the tits. That's always the focus of her, the tits. This wouldn't be an anime if we didn't always focus on the tits.
きっとベル様の悪影響です。
神様の悪口を言ったんです。それを聞いたら思わず。
君が僕のために怒ってくれるのは話しいな。
神様。
He's just always. 僕の神様は。There's always a shot of him with her tits always in like the center of his view.
喧嘩を？
はい。神様に叱られました。すみません、エイナ
That's
さん。
right, I forgot that they have like advisors
過ぎたことは仕方ない
that
よ。
like help them
で
through
も
it. If you're in
今
an
後は
adventure,
気を
like
つけ
they
てね。
help you with
ファミ
like
リア同士のいざこざで街が戦場になる
getting
こともあるん
prepared
だ
to
か
like
ら。
to go on your first
はい。
quest in a dungeon.
当面は13回察しの通り、アポロンファミリアよ。それ、アポロン様からの宴の招待状です。別に来
Sounds like a
なくて
setup.
も結構なんですけど、確かに渡したから。
I mean, clearly it's a trap.
まさか。
やっぱり神の宴なんですか。
ああ、それも普段とは少し違った面白い思考なんだ。似合ってるぜ、ベル君。
の、
恥ずかしがらなくても大丈夫さ。
そうですか。
アポロンめ、必ずファミリアの子を一人だよ。ありがとうございます、ヘスティア様。
Does she have
ミ
like?
カズチたちももう
I
つい
think
て
she
る
has
頃だろ。
dog ears, like
そろそろ
puppy
行こ
ears.
う
Or is
か。
that? Maybe that's just her hair. I think that's her hairstyle. Because like I said, I know there's some like half
ヘスティア、ミラハ
human
ベル君と
animal
ナーザちゃんも。
people in
相
this
変わら
show.
ず想像しい
バカじゃないか。おい、やめろ、暑苦しい。
No, those are ears. Yeah, those are like puppy ears.
二人とも決まってるじゃないか。だが見てくれ。うちのアスピもなかなか。
ヘルメス様、本気で殴りますよ。
照れてるアスピも可
So
愛い
he's
ぜ。
a god too. So I guess a Hermes.
諸君だ。あの方が
That's Apollo.
アポロン様。
はい、そのようです。
Well, at least he has the. So, he's Greek.
日々可愛がっている子供たちを着飾り、こうして宴に連れ出すというのもまた一興だろう。いいぞ。今宵は新しき出会いに恵まれる。そんな気さえする。さあ、
You
夜は
read
長
it,
い。
bro. It's a, I mean, there's gonna be some bullshit. I can already tell there's gonna be some bullshit involved.
アポロンとは展開の頃から付き合いがあるんだが、特に色恋沙汰の話題が尽きなくてね。ああ、エ
So
ス
he's
テ
a
ィア。
man whore.
知らないよ。
He's
あとは
probably
そうだな。
knocking the boots with
執念深い。
Hestia.
それが来たな。フレイヤファミリアの出身、フレイヤ様さ。
So
Freya-sama.
that's like I was saying. So some girls can't
子供たちが美の神を。
just mosey on over here.
今夜、私に夢を見せてくれないかしら。
What? Give me sweet dreams? What is that supposed to
この女
mean?
神は男と見ればって。残念だけど、ヘスティアのご機嫌を損ねてしまったようだし、もう行くわね。
つさん、
そんなこともわからなかった。くるくるどっちが。
I think that redhead
お、
is
その子がどっち
Loki.
の子か。なんかパッとせんな。
But I think if I had to guess, he fainted. Why did he faint? I think that they gender bent that Loki to be female versus male.
そうだよね。これがファミリアの距離なんだ。
So it seems like some gods and goddesses, I guess, just don't get along. That's the motherfucker that kicked his ass. Got some shady dealings going on. Oh shit.
ここにいたの。どうして冒険者になったんだい？その
To pick up chicks in dungeons.
親が言ってたんです。ああ、麗しの剣気。どうかこの辺。
And she doesn't talk at all. Like, she barely talks at all.
俺の代わりに剣気と踊ってくれたまえ。ヘルメス様。
Hermes coming in clutch. Ultimate wingman.
私と一曲踊っていただけますか？レディー。
Yeah, she is. She's like a dog hybrid. It'd be funny if he starts stepping on her feet.
冒険者だろう。互いの目を見ろ。技はいらん。駆け引きだけだ。
Look at that, his dreams coming true. He's dancing with his ultimate crush.
ここにミノタウルスの群れを連れてこれないかしら。
I heard of minotaurs. The fuck for what? She like a villain. She's giving me like villain vibes. That Freya.
宴は楽しんでいるかね？
We're gonna kill you all now. Look at him. He looks like a douche. He looks so
いや、
douchey.
ヘスティア。先日は私の子供たちが世話になったようだから。
That's the little shit that was. Are you serious? Okay, yeah, this is.
証人もいる。言い逃れはできない。はめられたな。
Yeah.
ほう。どうやっても罪を認めないつもりか？ならば仕方ない。アポロンファミリアは君にウォーゲームを
Yeah,
申し
he's
込む。
definitely giving douchebag vibes. So we know Apollo is a douchebag. Okay.
我々が勝ったら君の眷属ベルクラネルをもらい受ける。
Fuck. What the fuck? Oh. Okay, so that was pretty interesting. Apollo, or his kids, his children, pretty much starting shit at the tavern with Belle and Welf and Lily for no reason. And that's so strange that they just started for no reason. I guess because they feel like Belle is, which I guess I can kind of see, they feel like Belle is a wimp and he kind of cheated his way to being level 3. Whereas I guess they feel like they've actually worked hard to get to level 3 and he's kind of just like had help from like Aes and the Loki family to kind of get him to where he's at, and he's also gotten the help of other people. And I'm pretty sure it's well known that Hestia only has Belle as her child within her familia, so I guess it just rubs, I'm assuming it rubs certain people the wrong way. And I guess that little ass kid though, talking shit, I wonder what level he is with all that shit he was talking as if he's actually doing something in these streets. Yeah, pretty much it was a setup. They started some shit in the tavern, went back, told their pops Apollo, and he decided to throw a banquet, pretty much catch Hestia and Belle in the trap, pretty much. And it looks like, according to what he has planned, is some sort of war games. I'm just curious as whether these gods themselves ever fight, because that'd be interesting to see what that looks like, which I'm pretty sure they'd be fighting each other, because fighting any of the other characters would be instant death for them. But then we also got to meet Freya at the banquet, at the ball. So that's interesting. She seems like one of those like very seductive waifu type chicks. All about seduction, always using the sultry voice. But yet she also gives me like villain vibes as well, because she was talking about asking her, I guess her date, can we release some minotaurs on this? Like, release a minute for what? That's random. And it's all about, and because in this world it's all about fighting monsters, and minotaurs are considered a part of the monster category as well. And a lot of the monsters, you only typically find them within the dungeons. You don't really find them like out on the surface world a whole lot. So that's interesting. I don't know if that's like an ability or power of hers. I'm not sure. I know the only like source material I can go off of as far as Freya is based off of God of War, like the God of War PS5 game. That's the only thing I can really go off of as far as knowledge of Freya. I'm not really too knowledgeable on Norse mythology a whole lot. Outside of like basic shit like Thor from the MCU. But yeah, she does seem like interesting. She's probably going to be another player in this season. As far as what her motives are, everyone has motives in these shows. So I'm curious to see what this war game is going to be about in the next episode. But that'll do it for this episode. Is it wrong to pick up chicks in dungeons? So stay tuned for the next episode. Follow, like, subscribe to my videos. Also, I'm going to leave the link, or not the link, but the handle for my Instagram. Follow that as well if you want to get some content on there. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.